It's been years in development, but we finally have a release date for Shakedown Hawaii. I've been excited about this game ever since playing it at PSX back in 2016. So, what do you need to know about this game? It's a follow-up to Retro City Rampage that was originally released in 2012 for the Vita. Since then, a deluxe edition of Retro City Rampage was released with additional content. If you haven't played it, then it's definitely worth grabbing. It's kind of like the original top-down GTA, but a lot more crazier, with a lot of humor and pop culture references. Shakedown Hawaii is a top-down open-world action game set in Hawaii, where you basically want to take over the city through completing missions to destroy your enemies and acquiring buildings through questionable means. It plays very similarly to Retro City Rampage, and you play as the same protagonist, although he's now 60 years old, and back when I played it at PSX, it was noticeable that he moved much slower, adding a greater challenge to outrunning the police. One of the new elements compared to RCR is the acquisition of buildings. You can buy the whole city, and acquiring a new building can add new missions. For example, buying a shop can add missions to take out the competition. Where RCR had an 8-bit style, Shakedown has a 16-bit style, and it looks great. A physical release of Retro City Rampage came out a few years, but VBlank, the developers, are releasing a reprint on April 24th. By the time you see this video, it will already be available. There are 3,000 copies, which is a decent number, so go and grab it if you're interested. Shakedown is also getting a physical release, which will be available on vblank.com on May 3rd at 10 AM Pacific Time, 1 PM Eastern Time, 6 PM UK Time, and 7 PM Central Europe. It'll be $30 for the physical. Shipping costs are unknown right now, as is whether custom needs to be prepaid for international buyers. There are 4,800 copies, and there's no word yet whether it will be limited to one per buyer, but I really hope so. 4,800 is a decent print size, but there's probably going to be quite a lot of demand, given that a lot of people have been excitedly waiting for this game. The game releases digitally on May 7th for Vita, PS4, Switch and PC, and it'll cost $20. Retro City Rampage was an early game for the Vita, and Shakedown seems to be one of the last. I'm excited that it's nearly here, and I also think it's awesome that the developer stuck to his word on the Vita release, and that we're getting a physical Vita release. Personally, I'll definitely be grabbing the physical next week. So guys, are you planning to pick up Shakedown Hawaii? And if you've played Retro City Rampage, what did you think of it? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.
Welcome to Shakedown Hawaii. Build a legitimate corporation by completing open-world missions, acquiring businesses, sabotaging competitors, rezoning land, and shaking down shops for protection money. It features a 16-bit destructible open world, spanning from the city to the suburbs, the beach to the water, to farms, parks, and the jungle. Explore the world by foot, by car, or by boat, or go inside the over 200 enterable buildings. It's filled with stores to shop at, civilians to interact with, and secret areas to discover. The story follows 3 protagonists: an aging CEO struggling to make sense of the modern world, his son, an aspiring DJ in search of gangsta cred, and his right-hand consultant, ready to take care of the dirty work. The entire island is up for grabs, or at least could be, with the right business model. Unfortunately, while our CEO was at the beach, his company ran itself into the ground. To save it, he'll need to learn the methods of modern business and use them to rebuild his empire. And with a little fine print, and some clever cost-cutting, and maybe adding some convenience fees, unnecessary best before dates, store credit cards, and a few lobbyists, it could be his. From the boardroom to the streets, build your corporate empire and destroy the competition. It's business in the front and bodies in the back in Shakedown Hawaii.